Hi there, welcome to part 4, the final part of Rise of Insanity. Lucite. Smells like geraniums. Okay. Trying to figure out where we're supposed to go next. It smells like flypaper. Chlorpicrin. Interesting. Okay. Here we go, something to read. Interrogation Protocols 57/114/92 5/16/1977. In the case of the murder of Susan Dowell and Theodore Dowell, suspect Edward S. Interrogation conducted by Chief Inspector Samuel Wilson, forensic psychologist Mrs. Vanessa Green. Thanks to Mrs. Vanessa, we have managed to come in contact with the suspect. It has been established that he is single. He worked as a gardener for the Dowell family. He said that for the last months he had been taking part in a therapy and that it was to cure him from his split personality disorder. He admitted that he had killed his wife and child, but as he emphasized, he had done it in his dream because Dr. Dowell had told him to do so. It had been part of his therapy. We have finally figured it out. It is necessary to speak with Dr. Dowell. Okay. This is where we want to go. That should open something up. Oh, and the phone rings again, of course. Where's that phone? Here in a jail cell. Hello?
Listen, Bowman, give me some creeps, Doctor. I won't manage alone.
Okay, now where are we? The examination conducted by Dr. Maslow's team should not be taken into consideration during the investigation. Dr. Maslow could influence the examination in order to help his friend, Dr. Bandura says. Dr. Dowell was known for his controversial methods of treatment, and the fact is that in the past he has probably led to a patient's death, he adds. Okay. The door won't open. And it opens by itself. Not creepy. Oh, a courtroom. It says June issue Psycholozine. The tragic events from my friend's past had a very bad influence on his mental health condition, says Dr. Abraham Maslow, friend of the accused, suspected of manipulating Dr. Stephen Dowell, which in turn has led him to murder his family. I deny the rumors saying that Stephen pretended to have a mental incompetence. I have examined him. He was also examined by other psychologists and psychiatrists who were strange to him, Dr. Maslow adds. I guess by strange to him they mean unknown to him.
I hereby open the trial against Edward about Susan Dowell and Theodore Dowell's murder. Do the prosecutor and counsel wish to say anything before the trial is started?
I would like to enclose the report about my client's insanity to the evidence, as well as recordings made by Dr. Dowell during the therapy.
Mr. Edward, could you tell us about the relation that was between you and Mrs. Susan Dowell, Dr. Stephen Dowell's wife, that tried to cure you? I would like to enclose documents from Susan Dowell's autopsy to the evidence. Basing on these, Your Honor, as well as the jury can get to know that the victim was pregnant with the defendant.
Interesting. Interrogation Protocol 05/21/1977. In the case of the murder of Susan Dowell and Theodore Dowell. Suspect Stephen Dowell. The interrogation is conducted by Chief Inspector Samuel Wilson and forensic psychologist Mr. Richard Jackson. After the appearance of new evidence, which is Susan Dowell's autopsy protocol, we have come to know that she was in the first month of pregnancy. Furthermore, the father of the child is suspect Edward Blurred. We have established that Stephen had a motive and the skills to manipulate Edward. During interrogation, the suspect showed lack of contact with his interlocutors. He experienced ambivalent states, from hysteria attacks to complete apathy. During interrogation, the accompanying psychologist came up with a thesis about Mr. Dowell's insanity, which might have been caused by many traumatic experiences in a short period of time.
I open the trial against Stephen Dowell about malpractice against Edward, who caused Susan and Theodore Dowell's death. Does the prosecutor and counsel wish to say anything before the trial has started?
My client, as a doctor, always takes care about patients' welfare. In the enclosed evidence, Your Honor may read about many difficult cases that have been cured by the defendant. He was trying to cure his protege at any cost to ease the pain.
I would like to enclose to the evidence the description of one therapy conducted by the defendant, which, as we can read, also finished with a failure. The girl, with similar illness like Edward, who under the influence of the therapy made suicide.
And did the defendant realize that his wife was pregnant, not with him, but with Edward?
Okay, so while they're trying Edward, they keep adding Dr. Dowell in there. I'd have to say they're one and the same. They don't just come out and say it, though. But that's what I'm thinking at this point. Is the phone ringing again? Hello? This looks like the mental ward here.
Steven, can I see you in my office?
Very sterile. Won't let me turn the TV off. Well, I guess we go over here then. Mother and 7-year-old son murdered. Woman receives 30 stab wounds 2 days after the child is strangled during sleep. The father of the family is the one responsible for the commission of all these horrible acts.
How are you feeling today? Everything's okay? I think it's time to show you something. Let's go to the next room. Have a seat and make yourself comfortable.
They still don't say whether he did it himself or it really was the gardener. I mean, we kind of know that it was the gardener, but was the gardener Stephen Dowell? Another projector. Isn't that what started the whole thing?
Our relationship started to pass away suddenly. Stephen treated me like a lodger, unwanted person, with whom he lived because it was a kind of interest. And I started to live on memories and projections that were so beautiful in my head, so perfect. Stephen was in them like years before, like when we moved into our new house and we planned to make a big garden, only for us. These memories made me stronger, helped me to survive and wait for tomorrow with hope. First time, I thought that maybe I'm only dreaming, or the projections about him became ridiculously strong. He came to me like before, smiling, happy, with sparkles in his eyes. Similar situations repeated in the next weeks, and I, instead of looking for their source, was waiting till my loving Stephen came back, just for a while, to feel like before, like years ago. At the beginning of our relationship, Stephen often told me about interesting things from the psychology ward. During his studies, he met with the case of a patient with multiple personalities. I remember well this case because it seemed to be very exciting. So many different personalities in one body that differ in IQ, beliefs, talents, and even visual acuity. I hid my husband's illness to meet with Eddie, his second personality, to feel happy just for a while, to fulfill my dreams. During our romance, we often met in the garden. Today, I again talked with Eddie. He is in very bad condition. Stephen's therapy started to even scare him, he says. He must make terrible things to be cured and finally take a breath. As a last resort, I will send this recording to Abraham.
Aha. So Eddie was Stephen Dowell's second identity, which explains everything. Whoa, the world is turning upside down, literally. What are the ceiling lights doing on the floor? Okay, think we're tripping out again. Lay off the meds. Oh, that doesn't look good. Yeah, it's always the white door. Stuff falling from the ceiling. Dude's tripping. Okay. It's like the garden here. Maybe that's where he buried his son. We know he buried him in the garden. This must be his final descent into hell.
But I will stay here in those walls.
Well, that was an excellent game. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. And I'll hope you join me right here on this channel for whatever series I do next. I'm always looking for the best indie horror and the best horror in general. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Drowned it now. You spread the gloom.